Welcome everybody to the October version of the Ask the Experts or Ask Roger Anything meeting.
I have a question.
And I'm going to start with it saying that I like my brand new iPhone 15 Pro. It is a nice upgrade from the 12.
I've been reading a bit about screen burn-in and overtemp. Now,
Well, the
supposedly the last
17 point,
software update.
the software update took care of the over temperature. So that's a good thing. And I only got it yesterday.
Okay.
It was supposed to have been here last week, but UPS decided to send it on a trip.
Yeah.
Mine got here on the 11th, I think it was. I haven't noticed any screen burn in, and it was warm the first day, but it was really, really busy the first day.
Yeah. Did you put a screen protector on yours?
I did.
Which one did you use?
I like the brand Am Field or Am Fam.
The one in the black box?
No, it's a white box.
Okay.
Am Film. AM
Okay.
Film.
Yeah, I've used those before. I ended up getting one called Ultra Glass, which somebody said has a little bit better rating. Instead of not just 9H, it's 9H plus.
Well,
And I have no idea what that plus stands for.
even more.
Yeah.
The Amfilm one I got for my 15 Pro had a little device to position it correctly and get it on there correctly and straight the first time, and it worked very, very well.
Yeah, the Ultra Glass has the same thing, and what it does is when you insert it, you pull a tab, and it cleans the screen as it applies the film, the glass. So,
Okay.
but anyway, does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I watched Roger's replay of Passkey today and got daring, and I said, well, you know what? I'll go see if I can do it on one of these things I don't use very often. So I went to my Google app and managed to successfully set up Passkey. Then I realized that I could not sign out of Google app. And I'm going, what am I missing here? There was no sign out on the Google app. Then I looked around at some of the other Google or Meta apps that I have on my phone. And I'm going, there's got to be a trick somewhere on this thing that you can sign out. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of Google. But and anybody a big user of this? And is this something that just Roger and I were talking earlier? It's like Google doesn't want to let you go once you're signed in.
What is Passkey? What is it?
You need to watch Roger's presentation there. It is a better way of entering instead of using a password. It's not available on all of your websites net, but it is rapidly becoming adapted by many in the industry. And it looks like it's promising. But again, I would encourage you to watch Out to Lunch with Rogers on YouTube, if you do.
It's called Out to Lunch. What is it called?
I'll put a link in the comments for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Roger did an excellent job of walking you through how to set it up.
Well, the concept of, from what I understand, I haven't used passkeys only because I'm leery of the concept of it. And the concept is you have a device that you trust, and when you go to Google, they will see that you are on that trusted device and automatically sign you in. Okay. So for people like me who want to go to a site anonymously, you don't want to do that with a trusted device. So I don't want to set up virtual machines to go on the web but I think the situation that you're seeing is exactly what passkeys were designed for. So that when you go to Google, you don't need a password. So if you don't need a password to sign in, there's no reason for you to sign out. Because it sees that you're on your trusted device and it'll automatically sign you into Google. Even if you were to sign out, if you're on that website, it signs you right back into it. So that might be working as designed.
I think
Okay.
so.
But what if I have multiple Google accounts?
Then you'll get to choose.
Yeah, you'll get you might choose only one that has a passkey, or I have no idea. They want you to use Chrome, and it may be different in Chrome versus Safari. But the whole thing of passkeys is that you don't use a password to log in. It's just a secure communication between your device and the provider.
Yeah, as Roger explained, you have a private key in your secure enclave. And once you go to a company that allows you to use passkey, they handshake with your private key. Is it private key or public key? I guess it's public key. But it's I'm trying to think of the old it used to be an old app years ago that kind of worked that way, and I can't remember what they called it, but
PGP is probably what you're thinking of.
yeah, that's what it was. What was it again? GDP?
PGP, pretty good privacy.
Yeah,
It's
pretty good
actually
privacy, yeah.
it's actually still in use. I use it on email.
Yeah, and so it reminded me of PGP.
And one of the things now, did you sign in with your device or did you sign in with the 1Password passkey?
I had to sign in with my regular 1Password.
Okay.
Then once I got in there, I had the option presented to me. Do I want to use passkey instead of 1Password?
Right, but 1Password supports passkeys.
Yeah,
So
it'll
that
save it'll save it also in your 1Password.
right, but I think if you use 1Password as your secure enclave instead of your device, if 1Password is locked and you go to that site, you're not signed into it until you unlock 1Password.
Well, I didn't run into that problem, and 1Password wasn't unlocked. So I don't know. It was an interesting experiment, and it just had to be a little bit daring after watching Roger Days. I'll give it a try, see what it is. And as Roger emphasized, don't throw away your old passwords though, just in case there's something glitching in passkey yet, because it is still a product in development. But the unique thing that I was wrestling around with is that I don't use Google. I don't use Google search. I'm a DuckDuckGo on Safari. Simply because Meta seems to be grabbing every dang bit of data it can grab from you to make money. But I do quite a bit on YouTube with my other club, and so I wanted to make sure that maybe it'll work with YouTube, and it does. I just went right into YouTube, and passkey is, I guess, part of the Meta complex there. But it's interesting. It's something I guess we'll watch. I'm not gonna leap into a bunch of my other websites and try to sign up for passkey yet.
Sounds good. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Kevin. You helped me out the other day with my computer got taken over by something, and I couldn't get out of it. It kept saying a message: call this number, call this number. And you told me the answer was to hit my power button for 10 seconds, and that solved the problem. But how do you know what causes that, or how that comes about?
Yeah, what happens? There's websites. Then they have JavaScripts in the website that it'll make your computer full screen, turn up the volume, and display a message that you have a virus. You have to call Apple. And the normal way to get around that is to force quit the application. But they control your computer, so you can't access the force quit menu. Because they make the app full screen and they can't get it. But what you could do is if you could get to your dock and you could put the mouse over the application, say if it's Safari or Firefox, hold down the command and, no, I'm sorry, control and option keys, and then click on the dock icon. You could then select force quit, and you force quit the application, and that will go away. Some of them will put a profile in your computer so that every time you start, it goes back to them. I've seen some nasty stuff out there from websites. Another thing that, on the newer operating systems, websites can give you an alert, and you cannot tell the difference between an alert from a website and an alert from Apple. So you may get a box in the top right-hand corner. Your Mac is infected with the virus. Click here. And if you click that, it goes to one of those websites as well. And the workaround for that is to go into your Safari system preference or Safari preferences and turn off allow website notifications and uncheck any that are in there.
I have a Zoom problem. I'm trying to share with some people a video, and I go to share, and I click on the video. I can see the video. I can hear the video. The people can hear the video, but they cannot see the video. And the thing says that my video is on pause. How do I get off pause?
That I don't know. Roger, do you know anything about that?
So when you're seeing the video, it's running on your machine?
Yeah, I can see it on my machine. I'm the moderator, and I can see it on my machine. I can hear it, and everything's working fine for me. But when I try to share it with the others, they can hear it, but they cannot see it. It says your video is paused. And
What's
I go
your
to
internet
settings.
connection,
I try
Tom?
to find out. I tried to find out from settings if I got something screwed up there, and I couldn't find an answer for it.
Who's your internet provider?
Comcast Xfinity.
Okay, so you should have enough bandwidth to do it.
Well, I don't know what caused this. For a long time, I was able to do it without any problem, and I was able to share videos with the group. But something happened, and now I can't. The last 3 or 4 weeks, I haven't been able to figure it out.
Yeah, I have no idea on that. I don't share anything with Zoom. Matter of fact, this is the only Zoom meeting that I've ever done.
Have you been updating Zoom, Tom?
Yeah, I've got the latest update.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you're doing a
have
screen
question.
share for that application that does, that's playing the video.
What's that?
You have shared your screen and then picked that application in which the video is playing.
Right. And it plays
you
it on
been
my
able-
plays it on my master. Plays it on my machine, but the video, but doesn't share it.
Jerry, you have
I have a
did.
comment or a question. I'm not sure. You may have to start your video before you do the sharing. Is that true? I don't know.
Yeah, I've tried that.
Tried that too. Okay.
That's a good trick. That's a good tip. But it seems
I
like
think-
that's the way it works with Keynote. If you start Keynote first and then share, it works better.
I think we have a quiet question, Kevin. And we have Joanne over here who is trying to watch on an iPad, and she needs to increase the volume.
Oh, I did that. I was able to do it.
You got it,
I can-
Joanne?
Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
Okay, real good. Never mind. Any other questions?
Well, Tom, what's the source of the video?
Well, it's a religious video. It's like a Bishop bearing a rosary, and I had no problem for a long time. It worked perfectly.
Is it
But-
on YouTube?
No, I don't think it's on YouTube.
Okay, so you get it playing it off of a website?
I'm not sure. I just I downloaded it and I've been playing. I have several different ones.
Okay, so is it playing in QuickTime on your Mac?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I would make sure that you're selecting QuickTime. As if you downloaded it to your machine, then it would play back in QuickTime. Make
Okay,
sure you're choosing QuickTime to share.
all right.
See if that
And
works.
if that doesn't work, try VLC. I don't know if you have that.
All right.
I think we have a question from Karen. Karen, go ahead. But you're muted, Karen. And
Mute.
Jerry, you still got your hand up. Karen, we can't hear you. Your microphone is muted. And Jerry Gifford,
I am sorry. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, got it.
start over.
Okay. Okay, so I'm getting ready to get an iPhone 14. That's what I decided, to get, not a 15, but a 14. And I'm trying to decide whether to just go to Apple or whether to get it from Verizon. So Verizon says that they give you $600 towards my iPhone 8. That's my trade-in. So that sounds like a good deal. Because I've had Verizon for 6 years, I probably still have it. But then when I went to the store, there was some kind of addition of $6 a month just for having a gadget, just for having a phone. And I don't, so I didn't understand whether that means 6 times 36. And then if you decide that you're not going to, to continue with Verizon, does that mean you still have to pay that additional $6 a month besides whatever the phone would cost? I don't know if I'm being clear, but I went to the Verizon store today to ask them about that additional $6 because it sounded like a scam to me because I'd never heard of that before. And they were too busy. So the guy said to come back tomorrow. So I'm just asking if anybody knows what that's about. And if you don't, then don't worry about it. And I'll go to Verizon tomorrow and find out. Or if anybody has any suggestion about whether to go to Verizon, this Verizon has this deal where supposedly it's a $600 credit until the end of October.
When you get a trade-in from Verizon, several things that you have to make sure of. Number one, your plan meets their minimum requirements. Lots of times they require you to upgrade your plan and it ends up costing you more per month. That's number one. The $6 may be insurance. They may require that because you're on a month to month and they basically are locking you in until the phone is paid off. They want to make sure that you have insurance so that if you break your phone, you don't say, I'm sorry, my phone's broken, I'm going with somebody else.
Yeah, and I think the insurance is something separate because I'm already paying with an 8, I'm paying like $17 insurance.
Okay. Are you auto paying your cell phone bill on a credit card, on a Visa?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most Visas automatically give you insurance on your phone up to a certain point. So you may want to check with your bank card or whatever Visa you're
I
using
didn't know that.
to see if they offer, like the one that I have only gives me I think $500 of credit if my phone breaks.
Wow. And I never heard that. That's something definitely worth checking.
Yeah, another thing is check the price on Apple Care. That might be the charge that they're giving you. And if it is Apple Care, I believe it's worth it.
Mhm.
Only reason being in 2 or 3 years when you have to replace a battery and that battery is $250, that $6 a month seems like nothing.
Mm. Thanks. Thanks.
And another thing, is there a reason you're going with a 14 versus a 15? If you're doing a trade-in? Because I thought Verizon is giving a free 15 with trade-ins.
Not that I know of, but.
Now,
I'll check.
another thing is, did you go to an actual Verizon store or an authorized dealer?
I think I went to a dealer. I went
Okay,
to,
you don't want to go to a dealer, you want to go to an actual Verizon store.
which is where?
There's one across from Tucson Mall,
Thank you.
and there's one on Broadway, I think. I think there's only 2 in town,
Yeah, Broadway and Wilmot.
Broadway and Wilmot.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. That's AT&T. I'm not sure where it is on Broadway.
Or
It's across from the Park Mall.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, across from
Yeah.
Park Mall on Broadway. Yeah, if you go to the Verizon website and look for dealers, it'll show you which one are authorized resellers and which ones are company stores. You want to go
Yeah.
to the company store.
Yeah. And actually the 14, I mean, I have a cochlear implant, and the 14 I know works with it, and I'm not sure that the 15 works with it, because it always takes a while for the phones to work with the hearing, aids, etc. So that's why I just figured I do a
My
14.
guess is it would, and I'm looking at their website just for the iPhone 15 Pro. They'll give you $1,000 off of 15 Pro with any trade-in, and basically making the 15 Pro free.
Huh. That's a Verizon? You're
That's
on
at Verizon.
You know,
Yeah.
I will check. Well, that's
If you
what
look for-
I'll go to the Tucson Mall place.
Yeah, it's across,
You do
there's an
that.
iMaster or something across from
Great.
Tucson Mall, and they're right next to it.
Great. So, and I know what to ask them now. Thank you.
Don't they
The
make
other
you
thing
upgrade
is
to
that-
an unlimited plan?
Yeah, I have an unlimited plan.
Okay.
I think that I can't upgrade it, because I just got an unlimited plan for 3 years.
The other thing is doing.
And I only have one line, so.
The
Yeah.
other thing is doing business directly with Verizon. You ask them a question, they are going to give you the real skinny. Dealers sometimes are a little loosey-goosey. I would trust a Verizon store much, much more than I would trust a dealer.
Thanks.
I forgot to say what I was going to say. What you should do is, if you have questions like the cochlear implant, that sort of thing, talk to the Verizon store. Don't try to get the dealer. Dealers don't hire the best trained people, and the Verizon store is much more reliable in terms of answers, as far as I'm concerned.
Great.
Yeah, and also you could test they have iPhone 15s there on display. So you could test your implants to see if they
Oh.
work. So that's another good thing about it.
Great. Thanks.
And
That's
Doriana, you
my
had a
good
question?
suggestions.
Doriana? Hi.
I do. Hi. I've taken a lot of photos and videos on my phone, and they appear on my phone and they appear on my iPad, but on my MacBook Pro, a lot of them don't appear, and a lot of the videos aren't videos, they're just a picture that don't work as videos. So any ideas?
What operating system are you on?
Catalina?
That's the answer.
That might be why, but go into your settings for photos and make sure it's set to download originals to your Mac.
Okay.
And then that should download everything. Lots of times I'll only download thumbnails or they don't do the full bursts for videos.
And then
Another thing is, do you do a lot of video? What type of iPhone do you have?
11 Pro Max.
Okay. Do you do a lot of videos?
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard of an application called Blackmagic Video?
No.
Or I'm sorry, Blackmagic Camera. You may
No.
want to take a look at that. One of the nice things about Blackmagic Camera is that no matter how you hold your phone, your videos are landscape.
Mm.
So I know a lot of people don't always aren't able to hold it like this. They hold it like this because you want to get something. And Blackmagic will not just do everything landscape. It lets you select which camera in your iPhone you want to use. So you don't have to, like, you know how you pinch to zoom, and sometimes it'll use one camera and only that camera, and then you're digitally zooming. You could actually tell it which camera to use so that you get the optical zoom.
Okay.
And Blackmagic makes professional video cameras for Hollywood. They make some of the best cameras out there, and their camera app for iPhone is free, and it only came out about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay. So another part of the things not working on the Mac is that memories used to come and play and they'd have music, and now they don't work very well at all.
I'm not sure what you mean.
The memories part, I think it's now called something else instead of memories. But you know how it compiles
Right.
things from your many and makes them into a really nice thing, although not always the ones you wanted, but it does a really great job. It did. But
Yeah, I think it's called Moments now.
Yeah.
It's called Memory. Well, it's back to Memories on Sonoma, and I'm looking at mine, and every single memory as the same thing has like 3 or 4 versions of the same. Like I have one called San Diego 2019 trip, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's in there 9, 10, 11 times, 12 times. Yeah, it's same memory is in there 12 different times. So it's Apple's AI that I don't know if it, how it works or why it works.
Okay.
Kevin, it's Kurt.
Yes.
I have Ridge on the phone. He can't get onto Zoom tonight using the links in the newsletter or on the website. What would be his problem? He's got the latest.
It didn't work for me either. Tell him on the link in the email to right click on it and say open link.
Did you hear that, Ridge? He said to right click on the link and in the pop-up say open link. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get Ridge on here. He's going to be on stage in the next session.
Not a problem.
I just sent an invitation to Ridge using the participants icon at the bottom of the window. You have the ability to invite somebody.
Ah.
So I just invited Ridge. I hope that gets to him. It's also,
Bob Wood just sent you an invitation.
I used the link in the letter that I got from Bob, and I had to type in the ID number and the password.
Okay, so the link didn't work, but that did, huh? Okay.
Yeah, as I said, I clicked on the link a few times. It didn't work. And I actually had to right click and select open link.
So Rich, did you right click and open the link? Well, it's in that email I sent you, for one thing.
Hey, Kevin,
Yes.
Well, newsletter?
Black Magic Camera, is it Black Magic Camera or Black
Newsletter?
Magic Camera?
It's Black Magic Camera.
I can't hear you, Rich. Okay.
And it looks like these are the
Well,
controls.
Rich, Kevin said he had the same trouble. Clicking on the link didn't open it. But when he right clicked on it and then chose open link, it worked.
I don't know if you could see this, Mark. So that's showing the, even though my phone is straight up, it's showing that it's in landscape mode. And on the bottom here, you could select the lens that I want to use, which is real nice. So,
And that's a free,
it's free. My favorite word.
Well, the link I sent or the newsletter.
I'm curious
or
what's
the
important
website,
about landscape.
the
The
place where
telephone
that
in
link
a portrait
is
mode
shown.
itself.
Well, when you're playing back on a computer screen or TV screen, everything's landscape.
Okay.
So I mean, think about a TV show.
Okay.
If you had a TV show and they were just narrowed
and
to
if
the
you got a
screen
choice, do the
and it was
thing
black
says-
on the right and the left, you wouldn't enjoy it.
Now I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to think here. Some photographs, for instance, would be better if you saw them in portrait rather than in landscape. Or is
Sure.
that different than video?
Well, this is video. This app does video only.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Okay.
and as Roger would tell anyone within earshot, videos are always landscape.
Except for when you're watching the news and you're saying, well, this was shot by this person and they were holding up their phone, and it would have been nicer in landscape.
Yep, has those nasty black barriers on either side,
Yeah.
which says amateur.
That's a polite way to put it, Roger.
I heard, oh, what was the term? It's, let me write this down. It's called PIBCAT, P-I-B-C-A-T. Most errors, computer problems are PIBCATs. Okay, PIBCAT stands for problem is between chair and table.
You got a
Yeah.
question from Steve Parker.
Or between chair and computer.
Oh, right.
Steve,
So I
go
have a
ahead with your question.
I have this nasty habit of hitting my caps lock key when I don't want to. I'd like to find a way either to
disable it.
Yeah, well, not just disable it, but enable it on my choice, either with holding down a modifier key or a double tap. But so far, I haven't found anything on the web that would help me out with that.
There's an app called Carabina. That's one of them. And it lets you remap keys. You could remap the caps lock to the escape key is what a lot of people do. And there's another app called Hotkey app, I think. Let me see. No, that's not it. There's a key command, and I forgot what they call it, where it's Command Option Control Shift. And you can make a keyboard, so you can make one of your keys do that. There's an app that does that, that also changes the caps lock key. And I played with it a few months ago on a client's computer, and I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, you can also do that in system preferences. I'm a big user of Keyboard Maestro, but unfortunately it won't let me do it either. So I got to keep hunting, I guess.
Yeah, well, in system preferences, you could change it. You could turn it off, or you could have the shift control key be caps lock.
Except I use I use all the modifier keys quite a bit for
Right.
shortcuts. Maybe just turning it off would be the simplest solution, but a double tap would make it really handy.
Yeah, and there's a way of doing that. And I don't remember. I thought Carabina had that feature in it.
Well, system preferences has got it, Kevin, with under keyboard shortcuts, right? You can reassign the caps lock key.
Right, I understand that, but that's not what he wants. He wants it to be
partially disabled. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have mine as no option. You do caps lock, command, function, escape. Yeah, you could change it in the system preferences to the escape key now. Because very few people use the escape key. And you're less likely to hit it by mistake.
But the escape key is so handy for escaping so many things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And photo apps is used a lot to go from full screen back to grid and things like that.
Yeah. Trying to remember what that app was that I saw. Let you modify it. But try Carabina, and it's Carabina with a K.
Oh.
I think it's Carabina Elements. And all it does is it lets you remap keyboard keys.
I'll check it out. Thanks.
Okay, Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Thank you. Do you know why a printer would work perfectly with scans and PDFs, but not work properly with copying? What happens is that it cuts off the top of the page.
Is this a file on your computer that you have that you're printing? Or is it a
it's a page that I wanted to print for a neighbor. She gave me the page, and I wanted to make 50 copies for her.
What software are you?
Solve the problem by scanning it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would scan it into your computer and then print it out.
Yes, but isn't why doesn't the copier work?
Depends on the software that you're using. They may, I don't know. If it's on a flatbed and you're copying it, it should see the whole thing.
Right.
I've never heard of one that only copies the center.
What's the difference between copy and scan?
Copying is when you have a piece of paper, you're making another piece of paper. Scanning is where you put it into the computer and then you print it.
I still don't understand because I scan everything that I need to change the size. Or I need to scan it and then print it and it works.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Or if you have Photoshop, you can always go in and change the size of the page or something. Okay, just thoughts.
It sounds like a bug to me.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a problem with your scanner that the solution is just scanning it or not the scanner, the printer. The solution is just to scan it into the computer and then print up copies. And the nice thing about that also is you can change contrast and tweak the page a little bit once it's scanned.
You can also scale the size so that it will fit inside of your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
That's not the problem.
That's not the problem. Yeah. What about contacting the printer? You know, HP or whoever. It has them.
Good luck with that.
Is it
Yeah,
a
you're right.
function printer, copy scanner printer?
Yes.
Did you try cycling the power on the printer?
No.
Sometimes just restarting the printer can fix strange behaviors. But you know, when
I'll be right back.
When you put the paper in to scan, it's no different when you put the paper in to print. It just doesn't see the part of on the copy side of it. I would try just recycling, you know, power off and power on your printer and see if that clears anything up. Sometimes
that's
all
the
else
thought.
fails.
I was just very glad that I could solve the problem.
Yeah, that was a good workaround. But when you power cycle the printer, Susan, pull the plug out of the back of the printer. Don't just hit the on-off switch.
Okay, thanks.
And another thing you could try is just download the software, the latest version of the software for the printer. You shouldn't need to, but sometimes that'll help.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, go ahead, Luis.
Yes, hi. Last week too, my computer got locked up, and I called Apple, and they gave me an application. Well, we clicked to many different places, but then they gave me an application that's called AnyDesk. AnyDesk? Can you see that? No.
Is that for screen sharing?
AnyDesk, and that seemed to fix the problem. So now I have 4 applications in accessibility, and to the right there's the button that's click OK. It's click on, but this is on one computer, which is Ventura. Now I have another computer that's in Sonoma, and it has 3 applications, and I'm wondering, how do I make all the same? So one has my my Ventura computer has all these applications in accessibility on, and it's working fine. And this one is working fine too, but there are different. The settings are different. So it's Zoom. The Zoom is in here and it's working, and it's there too. And then WhatsApp is working here and it's working there. This is off, this is on. So I don't know what the function is on accessibility, and so I don't know if you have any feedback on that.
Okay, so they changed the system settings a little bit in Sonoma. So if you go into your system settings on Sonoma,
Sonoma, I updated it. That's recent. The one that had the problem was Ventura.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can't see what you want to see on Sonoma, right?
Well, it has different applications. That's the only difference. They have for three apps has a server, WhatsApp, and Zoom. The Zoom app, but they're off over here. The button on the right, it's off, but it's working fine, and this one is on. So I don't know. I don't know what's the difference. What accessibility is doing.
Yeah. So when you go into your system settings, you can search at the top. So search for accessibility and see if it brings up what you're looking for, instead of trying to scroll through it and find it.
Well, I see. I mean, I can see what's in there. Accessibility in here, just on Sonoma, it just has WhatsApp and Zoomas, and then the server one, and then the other one has AnyDesk, Smart Switch, WhatsApp, and Zoomas, and AE server, and it's on. So it's just.
Well, it sounds like AnyDesk is not installed on the Sonoma machine. It's not going to sync over. You'd have to do an install of AnyDesk directly to the Sonoma machine.
Okay. Yeah, but that when I put it there because I had the problem, it locked my computer. But in here, should I install it in here if I didn't have a problem?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Until I get locked up. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't install it. If it's working on Sonoma, I'd leave well enough alone.
Okay. Just leave it. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
You know, Roger, you mentioned about horizontal and vertical. The system preferences, of course, have been horizontal for 20 years, and they changed it last year to vertical in Ventura, and we're all suffering now trying to find stuff. I used to know where everything was, and now I just search. Just go to the top thing and just search. It's just not worth my time scanning through the list. And some of the things have moved. As you pointed out, well, there are some changes in Sonoma where things are, and there are some changes in accessibility. So we'll try to take a look at that, although I don't have a Ventura machine anymore, but we'll see what, you know. Of course, it makes sense if people are using it. They're not, we'll wait until they are, but any questions like that, we can take a look at, because it's now just vast what accessibility can do. I mean, it's almost kind of, it's hard to grasp all of it at once. It's just, there's so many things that you can do to adjust the computer. But we're blessed with people like Melissa, who spend a lot of time with that apparently. So, and probably yourself, Roger, too, right? So.
Yep, the key to system settings, we call it now, is use the search function. Let the computer work for you.
Looks like Luis has another question.
No. Oh no, I put that was an accident. Or I never took it down.
There we go. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Kurt, did you get Bridge straightened out?
No, he still can't get on. And so he has signed off for the evening. He won't be making the presentation. He said that anything new this month was very small. And so we'll just recycle it for next month.
Okay. Any other questions or comments, tips, tricks?
How many machines does Ridge have? And none of them will work? Whoa.
They won't load Zoom.
Oh, wow.
And is he using the Zoom app, or is he trying to load it from a web browser?
I don't know. He said it just says connecting and the little thing just spins and spins and spins and nothing happens.
You know,
I sent
I
sent him
actually,
a link.
I was
sent
working
him
with a
link.
client
He's
this
using-
afternoon and I had that connecting window just sit up there. After the third try, it finally worked. So there may be something in the latest update of the Zoom that's not working right.
Kevin said that if you right click on the link and then wait for the little pop-up box and it'll say, you know, open link, that worked for him, but Ridge tried it and it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, well, there'll be a
Okay,
Zoom
I'm back.
update
Sorry
next
about
week.
that.
Okay,
This could be a Zoom server problem.
could be.
Rich
Yeah,
probably has one computer that does Zoom. And he has another computer that does email and another computer that does word processing.
He tried 2 of them and he's using 15.6.2.
Right, and he just I had him change the DNS servers thinking maybe it was Quad 9 because I had problems with them before in the past getting some websites. He said he's going to give it up for tonight,
Yeah,
so he won't be at the regular meeting.
correct.
So
Well,
did I miss anything?
Yes,
We
but
missed you, that's all.
Yeah, we were talking about you, Kevin.
Anything good, or is it just a normal?
No. Our
I noticed
guest
was saying something. Was it important, or did anything I needed to know?
no.
Denny, do you have a question? You're muted.
Doriana, do you have a question? You got your hand up and muted.
Okay. Last month, I asked the community advice on buying a watch and a laptop. I followed the advice and I bought both. But none of you guys warned me that my watch is going to be a nag. Said I've been sitting at my computer for an hour. My oxygen is down. My heart rate is down. It won't leave you alone.
Turn off the activity features of it. That's what I did.
Yeah, just have to
For
turn
us,
it off.
for us
That's right.
retired people.
I probably
Hey,
need to get up and move more, and that's what it's telling me.
Yep.
Yeah, I did turn all those off.
Okay, just real quickly, I need to know where are the settings for photos.
It's system preferences. So I'm sorry, not
in
system. So preference in photos, go to under the photos menu, go to preferences, and then go to iCloud. And you'll see them right there.
So
under iCloud, let me see.
So where do I find preferences? I've got photos up.
So
Okay,
if you
I'll
click on the word photos, and then it'll drop down and you'll see
Oh,
preferences.
preferences, okay.
Or settings.
Okay, okay. And then iCloud photos.
Right, you want to make sure that download originals to this Mac is selected.
It is selected.
Okay, then in your main photos window, which is your library,
Yes.
go down to the very, very bottom and see if it says sync is paused.
The bottom on the left.
No,
bottom middle.
On the right. Like mine right now says syncing with iCloud pause. Mac needs to cool down.
And mine says synced with iCloud just now.
And where is that?
On the very,
at the
very bottom of the right-hand side. So you select all photos.
In the photos window, lower
Yes.
right-hand corner.
I don't see.
Scroll
it
down to
says-
the last or most
Well, it
current.
says updating right now.
Okay, if it says updating right now, then it's syncing with the cloud.
Right.
So you have to wait until everything is downloaded from the cloud before you can look at something to see if it's an original or just a snapshot of it.
So
That's going to take a while, probably.
Yeah, depending on your internet speed, I know I have a client that when we finally figured out what was going on with his and we set it up, it took him 3 days to download all the photos from his phone to his Mac.
Yeah. Not
You
uncommon.
know, another thing that you could do is you could plug in your iPhone to your Mac and import all the photos.
You mean new photos or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you plug in your Mac in, it'll show up in the list on the left. You would click on it, and then on the top right, there'll be a button for import.
Right.
And you want to import all new photos.
We have a new Mac with us tonight. His name is Dave Hamilton, and he's coming in a little bit early just to make sure that his video is perfect and his audio is wonderful. And I really have no doubt that that's the case.
Well, you never know.
Dave. You look good and sound good to me.
Perfect. Then I will happily stay out of the way while you folks answer each other's questions. And if I have anything to add, I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, we're supposed to be on a hiatus from 6:50 Arizona time to 7 o'clock Arizona time, to allow everybody to get up and get a new drink,
refresh,
and be back at 10 p.m. your time.
Yep, perfect.
So we'll see you then.
Where are you located, Dave?
I'm in New Hampshire these days.
What part?
I'm in a town called Durham, which is.
I know it well. I used to live in Milford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're along the seacoast here, ish.
Yeah.